What's going on, YouTube? And welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. Today, we are going to be talking about the situation around potentially a new NHL team name coming for Utah and the Utah Hockey Club. We're going to discuss that here in today's video. So, this is kind of old news, but because of all the trade deadline stuff and everything that's been going on recently, I really haven't had time to post this video. But today, we're going to talk about the Utah Hockey Club. So apparently they are down to 3 final names for this team. And it's kind of interesting because when you look at the 3 names and the 3 logos here, it's something to consider. Like, there is a legitimate chance we see a brand new kind of identity for this team here very soon. And I'm honestly, 2 of the 3 I would be pretty excited about. And there's one that maybe I wouldn't be the most thrilled about. So we're going to get to that here. So for starters, we're looking at the Utah Mammoth. So that's the first logo here. I really like the design of that. I think there's a lot they could do with this. So I'm trying to understand, like, if there's a secondary logo, could we see something similar to maybe like a footprint or something like that, and then you've got the Mammoth as the main logo? I really like that. I think that with the color design, I think, kind of going back to like an Ice Age kind of theme, that could really work here for Utah and the Mammoth. The Outlaws is the one of the 3 I'm probably the least, like, thrilled about because, I don't know. I just don't know if that fully works with the team. I understand, like, being an outlaw in Utah, I get that. But of the 3, it's the one that I think is the least original. So that's why I'm not the biggest fan of Outlaw. But is it okay? Yeah, it's okay. But I think compared to the other 2, I just don't think it's as good as the other 2. And then obviously the third option, which for its own reason I don't really like, is the Utah Hockey Club, keeping the team Utah Hockey Club, but with the Yeti logo. So the problem is the NHL apparently has had some problems with the trademark for Yeti because, well, of course, that famous cup cooler that, of course, you would confuse with a hockey team called the Utah Yeti, right? Now, it makes absolutely no sense. I don't really know the full story here, and I'm not going to pretend like I do, but there's a lot going on behind the scenes with that. It's frustrating, though, because I think the Utah Yeti would have been perfect for this team. That name would be perfect. If there was some way they could have collabed with Yeti to make that the cup cooler kind of a part of it, they could have definitely done that and used it as an opportunity. I'm not really sure why Yeti is kind of so adamantly against that idea. And it just doesn't really make sense because you look at, like, how many things are called Penguin, right? We've got the Penguins. The Rangers, we have 2 sports teams in 2 different leagues in baseball and hockey with the same name. The Winnipeg Jets, the New York Jets. Similar thing, right? Why is that okay? The Panthers, the Florida, and the Carolina Panthers, right? They get confused all the time if you're not a sports fan, but that still was allowed, right? So there's a lot of other stuff going on there that I'd really love to know more information about. But the Utah Yeti doesn't look like it's going to happen. So if it ends up being that Yeti logo, which I think is of the 3 the best logo, I don't love the name the Utah Hockey Club. And that's why, if I had to pick right now, like, if they give me this survey, the fan survey or whatever for Utah, I would choose the Utah Mammoth. Just because it's not the Utah Hockey Club name, and it is a pretty cool original logo. Something we haven't really seen. So, with that said, I'm really disappointed because I think the Utah Hockey Club logo with the Yeti is the best of the 3, but the name doesn't really work with me. If there was a way they could somehow, what if they did something like this, right? You've got the Utah Outlaws name, but you had the Yeti logo, right? Because the Yeti is kind of an outlaw, right? Like, he's kind of on his own. He's this mythological creature not a lot of people see. You could easily make that the outlaw logo instead of that kind of bandit looking logo. I think that's something they could have done as well. Maybe that's something they consider at some point. But yeah, again, there was so many different concepts in the beginning of ideas, right? Like, maybe they would be like the elk, like the Utah elk. I thought that could have been a really cool idea. Like, there was so many different concepts. And I don't know. If it ends up being the Utah Outlaw with that logo, I'd be kind of disappointed. And to be honest with you, if they kind of continue to keep the name the Utah Hockey Club, I'd also be pretty disappointed if they kept the Utah Hockey Club name. Because I just think there's so many other opportunities that they could go with other than that. So we're hoping to get some kind of clarification on this pretty soon. Because again, if they're already trying to get surveys and stuff like this now, like early in 2025, they have really, let's say like October, like probably September, you'd want to have like a team name and logo and everything kind of up in Utah and selling jerseys and things like that for next season. Like you pretty much have like 7 to 8 months to do that. And I think they could do that pretty easily. I don't think it would be the hardest thing for them to figure out. I don't think it's going to take them another year and a half to come up with all of that concept. Because, like, what are they going to do? Like, they're going to start next season and then, like, in November announce, like, all the names and stuff for the team. Like, they're not going to do that. They're going to start it right on opening night of whatever season they do. Whether they wait another full year, which would be, September or August of 2026, or it's going to be August or September of this year. I really think that's what we're looking at. Maybe they announce it by the draft. I don't really know. Maybe it gives them enough time to kind of create the merchandise and get all the stuff out on logos and stuff like that. But I would say, optimistically, they should have that stuff done by next season. It's kind of bad enough that it took them this long to come up with a logo and a name and things like that. But I guess better late than never. And if they do a nice job with it and they do it the right way, I guess we'll be okay with it, right? Like if they came up with a bad name and a bad logo to make sure it was done for this first season, I think we would have been more disappointed. But because they're actually taking the time, taking the effort to do it the right way, yeah, I don't love that they have the Utah Hockey Club kind of temporary name, but if it's temporary, I'm fine with it. But just make sure you come up with something really phenomenal and fantastic to kind of take that away from it, if you understand kind of what I'm getting at here. But let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. What do you guys think of these 3 different logos, these three different names? What do you guys kind of think? Because I think overall the concept is pretty okay, right? I love the colors. I love that dark blue with that really icy, like lighter blue. And the white, like it's a very clean look. It's very different that we're not seeing any red, black, and white, right? We have enough red, black, and white, or red, white, and blue teams. We have enough of those, right? We want to see something different. That's why when Dallas came in, they got the green, black, and white now, right? Like we want to see something different. And I think Utah did a pretty good job at creating their own identity. And it didn't involve like cool colors, maybe like a pink or a purple. But I think that with what they're trying to go with here, whether it's like kind of an ice age or Arctic or winter kind of theme, I think it can work here. And I think it's going to do pretty well for them. And it's definitely a good brand and identity that they can build on. So let me know what you guys think down below. Which one's your favorite? Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And I'll see you again next time.